Hey people, what's happening? It's Kieran from the Run Testers here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about these. These are the Jaybird Vista. Now these are a set of true wireless buds, and I'm going to be asking, should these be your next running headphones? So the Jaybird Vista are not new. They've been around for a while, but they are still some of the best true wireless running buds that you can buy, in my opinion, and I'm going to talk you through why that is. There are some shortcomings, and some of the feature sets have moved on with newer buds that we've seen, and some of them which we've reviewed around here, but these are still for $159.99 in the UK, $179.99 in the US. These are still really compelling running buds, and they've got some great features, starting with the compact nature of these. Now they're 6 grams per bud, which is very minimally, slightly sort of more heavy than something like the Jabra Elite or the Apple AirPods Pro, which are around 5.5 grams. But they are still really minimal in the ears. They fit really nicely, and they disappear almost as a sort of comfortable fit. So that's all good. Now they are also the next step on really from a pair of Jaybirds we had in the past, which is the Run and the Run XT, and they fixed one big problem with that. Now I'm going to show you. Around here, the Jaybird Run used to have a separate wingtip and a separate gel, and it now is all in one piece and sits on the bud. And what that has done is fix one of the biggest problems that I found with the Run and the Run XT, which was the wingtip would move and slide around, and over time it became a little bit flimsy and a little bit fragile, and it didn't hold in the ear right. So this, with a slightly more solid silicone on the wingtip and that one piece, doesn't do that. And actually what these have got over something like the Jabra Elite is that the wingtip hooks into your ear and keeps these very secure indeed. Now all four of us run testers, Mike, Tom and Nick, have also had these headphones, and we've had no problems with these falling out. For me, they're one of the most secure headphones of all the headphones I've tested. But we have all got, although they're a variety of different size ears, I've got these biggies. There are some people that I've seen who have reported that these don't stay put, and it's possible that there's other people out there who have had difficulty with these. But you do get 3 different sizes of these one-piece gels and tips, so you can small, medium, large, so you can hopefully find a fit that works for you. It's very difficult with fit. Some people find some headphones fit better than others, and there'll always be comments down below here that say, hey, these fall out for me, or these don't. So my advice to you is really just to try and listen and take in what you can find on the internet. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about in terms of design was this carry case. This is the camo green planetary one. The design might not be to everyone's taste, but it does come in black as well, and there are three other colors on top of that. Now it's super compact. That is like pretty standard khaki, which is something you might have to carry on a run if you drive and park. And it comes in the size of that. It's really lightweight. It's 33 grams, so that's nice and lightweight. You can actually run with it, pop it in a belt, and no problem, you don't know it's there. The other thing that it's got, which I really like, and the AirPods don't have this, in some other cases, the Jabra Elite Active 75T and the 75Ts don't have this either, which is a little hook here and a cord. Now that is really handy, because if you run with something like this, which I do, it's a flip belt. This stashes super nice in the pocket, sits really flat because it's quite a thin case and isn't big and round. It's grippy, so it actually stays in place in the belt as well, it doesn't move around. But also the flip belt comes with a hook as well. So bing bang bosh, hang that on there. And that, even if it does come out, it's not going to fall out, you're not going to lose it. If you're in a marathon where there's hordes of people coming behind you, having that security is a big thing. So that you're not, if that case goes on the floor in a marathon, you're not picking that up because you're going to get stampeded. So that's just a little bit of added security, and I really like that touch. It's a very simple design touch. The other thing that I like now is that this has a magnetic clip. The Run XT didn't. And it used to pop open in your bag, and you'd find your buds spilled out. So it's magnetic and it stays shut in your bag, and also you've got magnetic clips for the buds, so they go in, they don't fall out either. So even if that did come undone in your bag or your case, that's unlikely. Those buds are not going to drop out into the bag and get lost and damaged. You've got micro USB-C charging here, and all round I think you've got, in the case, in the buds, you've got a really, really smart design that I think puts it up there with any of the others that we've tested. So durability, it's a biggie. Jaybird have definitely, quick search on the internet, you'll see that Jaybird have come in for some criticism over the years for durability of its headphones, and they're very keen with these Vistas to push home the idea that they call it earth-proof, and they've just sort of made a big thing about the fact that they now meet kind of quite stringent US military grade durability tests. So they are IPX7 rated, and what that means, I've got it all written down here, that they are water, sweat, crush and shock proof. So that's pretty much everything. And they can handle immersion in 1 meter of water up to 30 minutes. So that means that if they fall out in the sink, in the bath, wherever it might be, in a puddle, that you're going to be fine. If they get submerged, that should be good. We tested them. I've run hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. Firstly in these ones, which were the originals, and then I've had these, been testing more recently, these new colorway. They're the same design, and I've had absolutely no problems. These things are still working fine for me. They all look the same. The buds, the sound is still as good. So, and many of those have been through really hot, kind of sweaty, drenched runs. So I think on a durability point, I personally haven't had any issues. So I'm fairly confident that these tick the durability box, as well as any other buds that we've tested. So battery life, the Jaybird Vista, they hold their own. The buds have 6 hours charge in each bud. The case comes with 10, so you've got a total of 16 hours run time if you carry the case, and you can recharge on the way. So the buds are up there. There's some that you'll get 7.5 hours out of. If you go for the AirPods Pro, you're talking about kind of 4.5 to 5. So that's good. The case actually has a bit less than some of the other cases. So some other case plus buds combos will go up to sort of 24 and beyond. That said, I think that's a reasonable amount of time, and you've got almost like a fortnight's worth of training if you do hourly training sessions off one single charge. A single charge from dead to full takes 2 hours. You also get a rapid charge where you'll get an hour's runtime from 5 minutes charge on the plug, which is pretty solid. And yeah, I think that's, it's good enough. It's good enough. It's not the best, but they are pretty solid in terms of battery life. The other thing to say about battery life with these guys, you can use one of them at a time. So you can use the buds independently. And if you want to, it's a clever way to extend the runtime that you've got. It'll go up to 32 hours if you use them one at a time with the case and the bud sort of power combo. What they'll do as well, they cleverly combine the audio into the one bud, so you arguably don't lose too much in terms of the sound. So where might that be useful? If you're doing an ultra, if you're running where you want a bit of situational awareness, you've got longer. If you have one bud in and one bud out, and that's good. Some of them don't do that, so that's a nice little touch if you're desperate to extend the life of the buds. The other thing to say is that as we mentioned before, they auto power down when they're idle for a period of time. So if you take them out when you finish your run, leave them on the table, after a time they'll know you're not using them. They'll power off if they're not connected to the app, listening to music. That saves you power, basically. That saves you battery life. We've all done that. Come home, drop them on, and then come back and find your buds dead. That won't happen with these. Now, the all important question of audio and sound. How do they sound in the ears? These guys, they kick out good quality sound. Let's start with that. We'll start from the top. Good quality sound. 6mm drivers. The fit is quite kind of, you get well isolated sound. And there's custom EQ control, so you can go in and change sound profiles to meet your needs, and actually you can set a bunch of those that you prefer. So if there's a way that you want your audio to sound in the gym versus out when you're running on the trails, you can do that. You can up the bass, you can fiddle with the treble, all of those things to get the perfect sound that you really like. So when it comes to sound, we do have one sort of big criticism, and that is that they don't go as loud as some headphones. Now, that's probably brilliant for your ears and the health of your hearing, but when your legs are burning and your lungs are burning, you're deep into a run, you need something to give you that big kick in the pants. What you get from these in terms of the volume is more like a size 7 as opposed to a size 11 kick up the arse. And, For me personally, I really like to go loud, and that is one thing that sort of sets them apart in a negative way from some of the other buds that we've tried on here. Connectivity for me on the Vista was fine. I've had, the connectivity on the run between buds. Sometimes with true wireless buds in the past, you'll get dropout. If the buds fail to sort of speak to each other, or they'll drop out from the phone. It's been a problem. It's been something that's been quite hard for the manufacturers to sort out. But I've never had any problems with these. They've been really reliable. I don't know if that's everyone else's experience, and I would love to hear it. If you've had something different, hit us up in the comments and tell us, because we're always keen to hear about a wider fielded test than just us four. So if that's you, let me know. But for me, no problems, no problems, no problems. So overall, I think these perform solid on the sound front. But if you like it really big and loud, then maybe you're going to have to look elsewhere. So the other thing that you don't get with the Jaybird Vista is noise cancellation. So if that's a biggie for you, these are not for you. You also don't get hear-through mode. So that transparency mode that we've seen come on the AirPods Pro, and that are also on the Jabra Active and the Elite 75T. Now, these were made before those guys, so they are older. So I would not be surprised if there is an updated version of the Vista or another set of these kind of buds to come out from Jaybird, that those features would be included in the future. But if they're important to you now, you're not getting them on these. Look for another pair. So when it comes to controls on the Jaybird Vista, I think they're really nice and simple, both in the way that they feel and you interact them with your hands, but also in the way that the controls are set up. So one thing that's changed from the Run XT is we've now got like a little concave button rather than one that protruded a bit. And that feels, it's just easy to find with the finger, and it feels nice and tactile. Also, when you pop them in, the button is a nice light press rather than a push, so it doesn't feel like you're digging the headphones into your ears if you've got quite a sort of a tight fit there. And also, they won't shake loose when you press. There's also a limited number of controls that you can have. So I think if you've got a goldfish memory like me, remembering what the controls are on the buds is really nice. You can control them with both headphones as well, so that obviously, because they work independently, you need to be able to have the same controls on each bud. So you've got that capability, and you can configure the controls in the app. So if you've got some things that you much prefer, you can actually go into the app and say, look, this is, I want a single tap for volume up and down, or whatever that might be. There are things that you can control. You can assign play, pause, next track, volume, and you can launch Siri and your voice assistants and all that kind of stuff. So that's a really, really nice touch as well. So I think controls, really good. So let's talk about the most important thing. We're going to talk about the money. How much are these guys going to cost you? Well, the Jaybird Vista come in at £159.99, $179.99, and that puts them really at the cheaper end of the true wireless buds from the big brands. We're going to do a video around here very soon that looks at the very, very cheapest true wireless buds to see if there are any that you should really go out and buy, because they're an absolute bargain. But for this kind of level in the bracket, these guys are right up there in terms of value for money. Now, the AirPods Pro, $249.99. You'll get the Jabra Elite Actives for $169.99. And you're talking about the Powerbeats Pro are up there with the AirPods. So these guys come in, I think, at a very, very reasonable price, and it's still, even though they're older, I think it still makes them worth a really good look. And actually, the fact that they're maybe a little older than some of the ones that we've seen, and they're lacking a couple of the key features, but I think those features don't necessarily affect the run too much. These guys might come down in price over the coming months, particularly if Jaybird eventually launch a new set. And if that happens, these will be a bargain, and I think you should check them out. So that's it from me on the Jaybird Vista. If you've got any questions about them, something that I've not covered, something pressing that you want to know, or you've got some comments about them, some things that we've missed out that are really negative or positive about these things, hit us up in the comments below. Also, hit subscribe while you're at it, and ring the bell, wherever that is. They're all around here somewhere, so that you get notifications for when we've got new videos coming out. We will have a new video that looks at all of the best headphones for running very soon. So we're going to take you through our top picks from a whole range of true wireless, wired, and others, so you'll be able to pick a pair of headphones that are right for you if you're in the market for that. Thank you very much for listening. I have been Kieran, Man v Miles, and I am out of here. That is a wrap.